Welcome back to the sawmill. My name is Bill. This is Pirate Solutions Forestry. And a busy little afternoon out here. What you guys didn't get to see yesterday, if you saw the video on me edging, you didn't get to see the 3 hours that it took me to edge everything. And people that don't work for themselves can't imagine working like a whole day or a whole week for nothing and not having a paycheck. Well, that affects us too. That, I basically pull a day out here edging, and I stacked up a pallet with barn board 6s, 8s, 10s, and some 12s. And you're doing it basically to clean up for no money. However, first thing this morning, I'm on the road, um, and I get a phone call, and one of my customers wanted basically all of it. So that was a great thing. So I got back here. We did weed through the pile, picked out some pieces that he really wasn't crazy about, but I sold him 150 board feet of barn board for a fence out of what I edged yesterday. It was sitting right over here on a pallet. It was all stickered. My wife is shooting some spots for her video editing class today. So she was out here showing Wayne on these, but I had this whole thing stacked way up high, sold, basically a couple of, well, I kind of gave him a deal because I only charged him for 8-footers, and there were some 10s and 12s in there. So, not all of them were perfect. It gives them a little leeway to cut the ends off them and things like that. And it was all just junk lying around the mill. So I probably gave him about 200 board feet of boards. And what we have up here right now is a 16-foot spruce log that we need 6 2x10s out of, 16 feet long. I'll show you what I did down here for the wife, just doing a video to practice editing. I mapped myself out a 12x12 here. That's what I'm going to shoot for, and then I will take the wane sides down to get a wane-free 12x10 is my goal. If I get myself a 12x10, I can get all 6 pieces out of it. So that's my goal, is a 12x10 wane-free. This particular customer does not want wane on them. Use them for staging planks, and that's just the way it's going to be. So I have a brand new silver tip Turbo 7 on the mill. I had a heart attack last night edging off some 2x4s. I had that log stop over there set at 1 inch, cutting this piece right here, 2 inches thick. And right here, I hit that first log stop and absolutely wasted a brand new silver tip Turbo 7, 2 inches up with only 1 inch showing on that log stop. Now, the only thing that I can imagine is when I slammed it over that top coupler, because I had them in the grabby things, it wasn't seated right, so it must have been kind of pointed maybe up in the air, and I hit it going pretty fast. I was trying to get done. This is all the edgings from what I did last night. I took some of them and put them in my sticker pile over there, but this is the majority of just the edgings from what I did yesterday. Then this will all, I think what I'm going to do with this, instead of keeping it for stickers, I think I'm going to cut these all down to 16 inch, fill up my Bobcat bucket, maybe even twice. And I have a kindling bin inside the house next to my wood stove. I think I'm going to fill it right to the top for the upcoming winter season and let all this dry in the house. It's perfect fire starter kindling to get your fire going. But in the meantime, we got to cut this log. So I'm going to get started. It's right at 16 foot. Hopefully there's no metal in it. I don't see any huge challenges. I will give you a view from the side here. It's a little bit sunny. It's not that, maybe I can get you an angle like this, since there's nothing really on my sawhorses. Get this. Now this is going to become a 4x4 here. That out of the way. There you go. This way you'll be able to see the sawdust shooting out, and if I have to pause you, I will. Well, we're going to go ahead and fire this thing up. I went through a whole pre-flight check, and it's lubed and full of water and pine allen and some of that Ajax soap that's like Dawn. The pith is centered on both ends right now. We're just going to go at it and see how this goes. Let's get her fired up, and hopefully this goes uneventful and we get this out of the way. Give me some water going. Okay, we got good water flow. I am going to keep a tape measure on my hip here, even though the marks that I made on this end are good because they're holy shit marks. So I don't need to do a whole lot of figuring. It takes 2 seconds to lay out that 12 by 12, and now I know where I don't want to go below. So once I get this into that 12 by 12, we can make some decisions about weighing and things like that. Probably going to split this first cut in half, and that's about, just call it 14 there. I'm going to go up to 15 and take my top cut there. Now, one of the problems with cutting a log this long is I just barely cut out. So you kind of have to pull everything back this way when you unload it. It's good to have a picaroon. So I still got myself an inch here to play with. Just see how wide I am on the top right now. I'm like 10. I think for the sake of trying to, I don't see any reason why I can't do this. I think for the sake of trying to do this fast, I think I'm just going to come back and drop down an inch and take another inch off. So I'm at 15. I'm going to go back and go to take it off at 14. Give me a little more barn board. This is still above my blue line. It is pretty important when you're cutting spruce like this to try to keep your feed rate nice and even. You don't want to push it too fast, or you'll start to get wavy. But you also don't want to go too slow, especially with a Turbo 7, because Turbo 7s like the speed. So it's kind of a mix between the two. get this. I'm definitely 12 inches wide now, which is good. These I'll keep up here. I can edge them off later, and they're not in your way. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause you guys just in case I can't flip this and I have to do it with the machine, so you don't have to watch me do it. So plus my back's kind of out, so I'm going to try to flip it by hand. If I can't, then I'll flip it with the machine. All right, on to side 2. I did debark the rest of the log. We're going to kind of do the same thing we did on the other side, and that is we're going to come probably an inch above my blue line to take the top cut, and then drop down an inch somewhere very close to my blue line. We kind of want to stay, or at least I do right now. If we didn't have to worry about weighing and we're just trying to get a 12-inch cant, I could just take this to 12 inches thick right now. But because I want to be careful. I want to give myself a little bit of play. If I have to flip the square a couple times, then that's no big deal. Just because this particular customer was adamant he did not want weighing. So we're going to go, I'm going to drop it down. My blue line should be somewhere around maybe 12 and a half right now, so we'll check that out. I'm going to go to 13. I'm going to take it off right there. That's a pretty minimal cut. And then I'm probably going to have to be honest with you, I'm probably going to have to drop it to 12. I am definitely going to have to drop it to 12. And I will guarantee, can almost write it in stone right now, that this dimension is going to end up going to 10 for my 12 by 10. Which I've already kind of got my oh shit marks at 10 inches laid out because I figured that was going to happen anyway. So we're going to go right to 12 right now. This Turbo 7 is cutting awesome in this spruce. It's cutting beautiful. So get this flitch off. It's probably become big ass long 1x6. Now since I've been hurt and I'm struggling a little bit with my manhood, I'm going to flip this on camera on its side. Let's go ahead and just see how the flare is. Kind of stinks. Maybe I'll come off. This bunk would be better, but it's okay. Because when I did my layout, I marked off the center. That kind of takes care of any flare down there. Just going to shut this off. It's going to be nice when Kate's editing and she can take all this dead air out. Now I'm not wide enough on this side yet. I'm close. Yeah, I'm 10 inches there. I'm probably only 9 here. I'm 9 inches here. I'm beyond 12 on the ends. But this dimension is going to end up going to 10. I already knew that. I've already got the end marked that way with my oh shit marks at 10. And all I'll do is I'll use that 10-inch dimension to get rid of any wane at the end. This dimension, this way now that we're starting on, is going to go to 12. And we could cheat a little bit on that. So if you got them at, maybe not exactly quite 2 inches, but if we had to cheat off a little bit, we could. The most important part is that we want to get rid of the wane. So I'm going to flip this up. And this is one other thing. When you're flipping a log like this that's that close to the head, you should have bungee cords down there to bungee your head back so the wind doesn't blow it and you do that and you friggin' break your blade. Oh, okay. This is not going to want to sit like that. I'm going to go all the way over with it. This side's going to register a little bit better. It didn't want to sit that way. So I'm going to use my log dog assist here to help me hold it up as I get close to square. Pretty close right there. We'll check it. Be very, very careful if you don't have a log dog assist. Be careful with big logs like this. Like I got to reach down in here for my square. You got to be careful with big logs like this. If they roll back, they could crush you. I've had them almost do it to me. So I got to go a little bit more. Hopefully my log dog assist is close enough to pull this off. I can feel it resting against the stop somewhere where it's square. I'm perfect right now. So if I can get this thing dogged off. Now, when I do this, I'm going to dog it with 3 dogs. I do not want this to move. I'm so perfectly square. I do not want it to move. And then in this dimension, we're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to come near our line, take it off, get ourselves a pretty big flat, flip it over, stay away from our line, and then we'll take a look at our wane and we'll see what we have to do. There's a chance we can't get 6. There is a chance of that with no wane. And if that's how it's going to work out, that's how it's going to work out. I want to work it down this way and this way carefully so that I can get the most I can. What I don't want to do is I don't want to take too much off one side and then screw myself on the other side where I could have gotten it almost wane free or saved a board. And nothing's going to waste. Anything's going to get used anyway, so it's not a big deal. Get a little more support on the blade guide. I'm going to kind of get close to our line, which is about right there. It's called 15, sort of 15 and a half, it looks like. Let's try it right there. Turbo 7 still cutting great. This just cutting awesome. I can already see that if I follow my pattern right now to 10 inches, I'm going to get rid of my wane on this side and this side. So this will be wane free. That'll be wane free. I'm going to take a 1-inch flitch off it right now. I take it back. I'm still too thin here. I have to. Yeah, I have to. So I'm going to take a 1-inch flitch off. they're not 12 inches wide. It makes no sense to not do that right now. I could get by at 10. That's true. This dimension is going to be 10, so I could get by at 10 inches here. I'm not even 10. You got to do it. So I think I was at 15 and a half. I'm going to come right just to 14 and a half. Take it off right there. And we'll get our flitch up on the table over here to be edged off later. We'll flip this thing over. Looks right now, I think I'm going to get them all. It's cutting perfectly flat, really nice and smooth. I'm going to pause you guys 1 second while I flip this over. They can get a little tricky when they're square like this. It's harder to turn them like this than it is when they're round. So I'm going to pause you guys while I flip that all the way over. All right, well, one interesting fact, this log is very dry in the middle. I did not flip it all the way up. I'm going to take this side to 11 right now, just because there's a little wane there. So I'm going to commit to 10 inches in this dimension. So I'm just going to take it off as I go around. Then I'll cut this side to 12. I'll flip it over, cut to 10, or make sure there's no wane. But I'm going to take this side to 11 right now. On my way around. I can tell you right now, boys and girls, we're looking pretty good. I think. Hopefully this got rid of all that wane on the side. It did too. That's beautiful. We're looking really good right now. We still have an inch to go on the width. Now, if you'll notice, I don't know if you guys will notice or not, because some of you might not watch me all the time. Usually I'm subtracting and adding eighths and talking about how this cut, if you want 12 inches and you need 6 boards out of it, you'd actually need 5/8. So it actually have to be 12 and 5/8. If you'll notice, I'm not doing that. I am going to give him planks on 2-inch marks rather than on 2-inch scale. So they're actually going to be just a shade over 1 7/8, close to 1 15/16. And we're going to have to do, I think, 2 more flips here. We're going to take this to 12, or I should say to clean up. Then flip it, take it to 10, then flip it and mill it out. Because we've got to make sure we don't give them any way. Actually go a little bit more than that. Good support. What am I looking at here? That's 13 and a half right there. I think I'm just going to take this to 12. I don't. Let's go to 13 and then to 12. How about that? I can feel the board. Whoa. Hopefully everything's just not. Almost knocked my band off there. I'm going to go right to 12. Looks like it worked out perfect. Make sure we don't hit it again. This worked out perfect. I'm going to get rid of all the wane. Stole myself some flitches for 1x material. We'll flip it on its side. We'll mill it to 10, then we'll flip it up, mill it out on 2-inch marks. And it looks like it's going to be perfect. Why? Oh, you got a bunch of wane there. Well, there's a perfect example why I did it this way. I'm clean on this side. So I need to come to 10 off of this face here. I'm 12 this way, right? Yep, and I should be 11 this way. Yep. So I have to take this face off now to 10. And that's why I was being careful with the 11 and not just going to 10. Because if I had, I'd have screwed myself. I would have had a whole plank with wane all over it right here. So I'm at 12 inches. That's going to be milling down. I've got to flip this back, take this side to 10. Then flip it back up and I can mill it out. I think that should be perfect. Let's see if I can flip it this way. And then I will have to drop my stops at some point. So I don't know if you guys can't see the wane. It's wane right here. Pretty good right here. But taking this to 10 inches now will get rid of that. After we do that, we'll flip it up and then we'll drop our stops. So going down to 10. There's 11, there's 10. It should be a 1-inch board. get this out of our way. We'll flip it up, mill it out. Get quite a bit of barn board out of this thing. It's a nice big 1x12 here, which I don't really like 1x12s. They cup a lot. My customer today asked me, "Oh, you have any 12-inch ones?" I'm like, I don't typically cut 1x12s. It's because they cup so much. All right, let's flip it up. We'll mill it out. One of these, because of the dimension, we're going to have to pull a couple of them off during the cut here. We won't be able to go all the way down. So, yeah. Okay, good. We're on all the bunks. This is perfect. I will dog it. We're going to take the stops down. I will take them all the way down because I do not want to repeat it yesterday. Oh, slip there. There we go. Looking good. Everything's on a bunk. Looks like we didn't deal with any deflection or anything. Looks good. Just below 2. And we should just be able to mill this out on 2-inch marks. So first got to be 10, then 8, then 6. Just going to get a little more water to it. get a couple of these boards off and we can finish it out. These came out great. Go, go, come on. Take one more off. These are nice. That was why we do the method to the madness. If you guys ever think that, well, I'm being a little bit over analytical about it, I'm really not. It makes a big difference getting all that lane off. All right, we'll go to 4 and 2. And my pattern worked out perfect. Cut right through the center of the log. Make one cut at 2 and we can call this one an order. Sawdust off that rail so you don't sit on it. I was not going to do this order today, but I'm glad I did. Glad it worked out. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Enough. Kill it, throw it back, and go looking for dinner. I'll give you a quick look. These will end up going on my 16-foot bunk over here, which has already got stickers on it. It's all ready to go. Give you a look at what we got going on. So we get a look down one of the edges here. Looks like Turbo 7 cut pretty clean. No waves. No waves, no bumps, no nothing. Perfectly flat on the top. There's not a wave in it. Cut a nice even pattern all the way through. And you're not going to be able to see the top of my marks here because I ended up having to adjust. If you see that blue mark that's in on this side over here, that would have been where my 10-inch was, but I had to take it off of this side to get rid of that wane. You can see that my 2 inches down there went right through the center of the log. You can see I hit my blue on the bottom, basically just off my blue on the side. So it worked out perfect. That is why I go to the trouble that I go to make the marks and try to map it out. At least give myself some sort of guide that says, where can I start and where do I have to be careful? So that I don't overshoot. If I didn't do that, I guaranteed I would have had wane on this. Guaranteed. It was so close. There is one sliver of wane. You can't even really see it, so it's not worth showing you. There's one sliver of wane. It's not even an 1/8 of an inch wide by about this long on the bottom board. If I didn't do it the way I did it, I would have wasted one board out of that log for sure. And you can see I got a whole bunch of big barn board plank here. Even this one's nice. Nice 1x12. And these other ones can get edged off and end up using them for sheathing on the shed and on the timber frame coming up. So that's my 16-foot bunk over there. That's where they're going to go. I will throw them on there and give him a call, let him know they're done, and we'll color this one out. So I can't really do the math right now on a, wonder if I could do a 16-foot 1x10 and then double it. Yeah, we can do that. So if we look at our chart back here on 1x10, oh, we got 2x10 by 16. So they're 2x10 by 16. They're 26.6 board feet. So we'll call them $27 each. Is 120 and 42 is 160 something, and I made 150 off of those. So it's basically a $300 a day. I cut one log, although I cut a bunch yesterday based on my sticker pile over there. A little over 300 bucks, but yeah, that's kind of how it works out. I mean, a lot less than an hour to make 160 and 72. Let's just call it 140. A lot less than an hour to do 140, and only 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think 13 total cuts. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 5. 15 cuts total. So appreciate the watch. Kate's going to editing school. We're going to see how that comes out. We're going to start whipping clips together. She's going to come out and start videoing me. I'm a little worried that she's going to get bored with it, or she's going to start trying to play producer. I don't know how I'll deal with that. Probably end up having to get some cameras and shoot it all myself, and then just give her all the raw video to splice together. And she wants to do the whole 9 yards. She's got Cape Cod TV is doing the class, and they're helping her with it. So I will have some stuff up with that, some test videos and things like that. I'll call them test videos. You guys can give me some input, tell me what you think. And we got our 2x10 by 16s, and for now, it's Pirate Solutions out.